Good morning, everyone. This is Nicola Ducharme here, the Naturopathic Mama. How are you? I hope your day is off to a great start. So I wanted to jump on today and talk about a weight loss system that offers to have you lose 10 to 15 pounds in a 23-day period. And I will tell you the truth. When I first heard about this protocol, I was very skeptical. I said, you know what? That can't be safe, that can't be healthy. If you lose weight that quickly, you've got to put your body in starvation mode, you've got to rebound weight gain. I had all the sort of misconceptions about the protocol because it just seemed too good to be true. And it was a friend of mine who was in the health and wellness industry who told me about it. And I thought, you know what? Let me give it a try. I'm going to try and do this and see how it pans out. Well, it panned out that I lost 17 pounds in 23 days, and I wasn't hungry for that time, and I didn't rebound the weight gain, and I was ecstatic at the end of 23 days. I really just felt that sort of boost in confidence, in self-confidence from doing that. So the protocol I am talking about is the HCG weight loss protocol. And it's something that we offer at my practice, Restore Medicine. We've been doing it for a few years. I wasn't prepared to give it to anyone else until I tried it myself. But once I realized that it wasn't some crazy starvation diet thing, then I was very confident in being able to support other people to do the same. And many, many people have, shed pounds that they couldn't get off for love or money. So, obviously, if somebody's out there not exercising, eating pizza and junk every day, the first thing I'm going to try and do is coach them on their lifestyle. But I also have a lot of patients who are eating so clean, who are exercising, who are eating low carb. They just can't shift that extra bit of weight. And it can be very frustrating. And believe me, I have been there. I completely understand. So let me give you a little recap of the HCG protocol. The protocol runs for a period of 23 to 40 days. 23 is about the minimum, 40 is about the maximum in any given cycle. So for somebody with, say, 15 pounds to lose, 23 days is going to be ample time. For somebody who has more weight to lose, they can either extend out and do the 40 days, or they can do one cycle, wait at least 6 weeks, and then do another cycle after that. So, and that really depends on one's personality and just how much sort of staying power. 40 days to me is quite a long time. So the protocol works by resetting the hypothalamus. Okay, so the hypothalamus is part of the brain. It regulates metabolism and fat burning. And so what happens is we take a little bit of HCG every day. This is a minuscule amount. So HCG is a hormone that is mostly produced in pregnancy. And we just take the smallest, babyest amount. To where, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. To where the tiniest amount, given either by injection, or there are also sublingual drops that you can do. That's a homeopathic preparation of HCG. And I can speak a little bit to the differences in a minute. So a tiny amount of HCG, what that does is it turns on your body's own fat burning capability. And so what you're doing is you're burning adipose tissue, or you're burning your sort of unnecessary fat. So you're still having energy. It's just coming from your fat stores more than it's coming from your food. So the diet part itself, you're eating 500 calories per day. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, whoa, that's low. That's going to put you in starvation mode. That can't be good for you. That's exactly the thought I had too. But remember, the HCG is causing your body to burn its own fat. So you've got energy. You've got, that energy to use for your metabolism and for your day-to-day activities. You're just burning your own fat more than you're taking in calories. So the diet plan is quite structured. You get 2 proteins per day, 2 servings of vegetables per day, and then I do it 3 pieces of fruit per day. The original protocol that was created by Dr. Simeon back in the 70s allowed for Melba toast or breadsticks, but personally for me, because I don't encourage people to eat gluten, I prefer to substitute an extra piece of fruit. So the way I do it in my practice, 3 fruits, 2 proteins, and there's a list of proteins that are acceptable: turkey, chicken, shrimp, white fish, beef. I mean, there's quite an extensive list. And then there's a list of vegetables to choose from. So, so that's really the upshot. So you do 2 loading days where you have started the HCG, but you eat as many calories as you can. That's the most fun part of the whole diet, if I'm being honest with you. And by the end of 2 days, you're like, oh, I don't want to eat that food ever again. I feel disgusting. But it sort of helps with loading your fat cells. It really does set you up for a more successful protocol. So 2 loading days, and then you do... the rest of the time is going to be the low calorie days with the HCG. And then towards the end, you do 3 days where you're still on the diet, but not taking the HCG to let it wash out of your body system before you start going on to phase 3. And phase 3 is where you can up your calories, you can incorporate fats into your diet again, just no sugars or starches. And so phase 3 is super duper easy. And you can really have a much wider variety of food. I even snuck a couple of glasses of wine on phase 3. It didn't seem to hurt me at all. And that just helps your body to stabilize. Now, the majority of people I work with actually keep going with the low carb part because they just feel better on it. And so I tend to encourage that. But I have seen time and time again with this HCG protocol, people do not rebound weight back on. It just doesn't happen. Now, if somebody was to go out and start eating burgers and fries every day, then maybe they would, but they're making bad choices. So that's going to happen come what may. But, providing sensible choices and a good, lowish carb, whole foods diet, it's really easy to keep the weight off. So I really like the HCG protocol. I really do. I haven't found anything else like it. And trust me, ordinarily without the HCG, I would be never, ever, ever in my wildest dreams telling someone to eat 500 calories a day. An adult anyway, to eat 500 calories a day. So, that would be unhealthy. It's the HCG that turns it around, right? It's the HCG that has your body burning its fat stores. And what's also good is it burns the unnecessary fat, the abdominal fat and the fat we don't want. It does not take the fat from around your organs. So you have a certain amount of fat around your organs and in your abdominal cavity, which is protective, right? You want that. You don't want to be doing away with that. What you want to be doing away with is, the backs of your arms and your tummy and your love handles. And that's what the HCG diet does. It actually will help to lean out those fat stores. So on average, I would say 15 pounds for the 23-day protocol is very, very reasonable and achievable. I have had a couple of people who've lost less than that. I've had a couple of people who've lost up to 20 pounds. I know for myself, I've done this protocol a couple of times. I did it after I had my daughter. And for me, it's 17, 18 pounds in 23 days. And, that's significant. To try and do that through diet and exercise, especially when you're already eating well and already exercising, that would take some time and some real doing. So for 23 days, and I will say, it's boring. You sort of, you have plenty of foods to rotate, but it's hard to go out to dinner. It's fairly hard to travel. Although I did pull that off one time. I went to New York for 5 days while I was on the protocol, and I managed, but it was tricky. And it's repetitive, but you get on the scale every morning, you see a pound coming off every single day. Gosh, that's some motivation. That'll keep you going and feeling good. So I'm a big fan of it. And like I said, we do offer it at my practice. So if anyone is interested in learning more about the protocol, how it works, I do phone and Skype consults. So we can arrange it for long distance people. And then just finally a note about the injections versus the homeopathic. So the injections, we usually issue pre-filled syringes with the HCG. We typically get it compounded. So it's, it's very pure, it's fresh, it's the highest quality. It's like, obviously medical grade. And so we pre-fill a little insulin syringes. The needle is like teeny tiny, and people can administer that themselves every morning. And we can teach people, if they haven't done an injection before, it's very, very straightforward to teach how to do that. The homeopathic drops, some people prefer that if they just aren't into needles or they just don't want to do the injectable. The homeopathic drops are another option. And sometimes for our long distance patients, we have to do the homeopathic drops just for logistical reasons. But I have seen the drops work just as well as the injections. And again, I was a bit skeptical. I thought, well, the injections are going to be stronger because it's the real thing. It's not a homeopathic. But the first time I saw somebody going through the homeopathic, they lost just as well as somebody doing the injections. And so there's two great options there. I still personally, when we have somebody in the office, I tend to recommend the injections just because, it's a prescription, we can access that. But like I said, the homeopathic drops have worked just as well. So if somebody goes through the protocol with us, it's an initial 45-minute consult to go over the protocol, to talk through the ins and outs of the diet. The diet is very low fat. That's one thing I will say about it. You really want to be avoiding fats and oils of all kinds. And so we give the coaching so that, people are very comfortable with, they know exactly what they can eat. They have a handout with the proteins listed, the vegetables listed. There is no guessing. It's very clear cut. This is what you do. This is how much. This is how many grams. There's no guesswork involved. And then, of course, we include the HCG itself, whether it's the injectable or the drops. And people can choose if they want weekly check-ins. We have a couple of different, levels. If they feel like they need more accountability, most people, honestly, once they have the handout and the HCG, they're off to the races. And it's easy to feel good and still go about your day. So for myself, when I'm on the protocol, I don't run. I'm a runner, but I don't run on the protocol. I do a good 30 to 45-minute walk, and I feel absolutely fine doing that. I can go to work. I can, do everything I have to do at home with my family. It's not that you're drained and lacking in energy, because you've got energy. It's just not coming as much from your food as it would on a day-to-day basis. So I hope that was helpful. I know that there's, a lot of information floating around out there about the HCG protocol, and there's sort of different versions now. Some people have kind of taken it and adapted it. I still find the original works pretty well. Like I said, I just get the gluten part out, replace it with another fruit, and I feel like that's a healthier choice. So have a wonderful rest of your day. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, just reach out to me through Messenger, and I would be happy to help you with that. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.